Ruthless killers and rapists terrorized the community, leaving a trail of victims and families broken by their heinous crimes. These individuals prey on the innocent, taking lives and causing immeasurable pain and suffering. For the victims and their loved ones, the impact of these atrocities can last a lifetime. The pain and trauma of their ordeal can never be fully erased. Families torn apart, communities living in fear, and justice delayed. In this video, we will delve into the details of the murder of Jill Meagher. Join us as we discuss the case and dive deeper into the investigation. Who committed this heinous act and why? Was there something more sinister behind the crime? Or was it just a random act of violence? Let's uncover the truth together. Jillian Meagher was born in Juhita Island on October 30th, 1982. At a young age, Jill and her family moved to Australia. There she attended Bull Creek Primary School and Rosemary High School. Subsequently, in 1996, she and her family went back to Ireland. She studied in Ireland at Juhita Grammar School and then attained a Bachelor of Arts degree from University College Dublin. In Ireland, she met Tom Meagher and fell in love with him. They had a beautiful love story that began with their first meeting in Dublin, and from there, they had a whirlwind romance that led to their wedding day. In 2008, they committed to each other and exchanged their vows in marriage. They were the perfect couple, always laughing and enjoying life together. The following year, after her marriage, Jill and Tom moved to Australia and settled in Melbourne. There, Jill started working at the Australian Broadcast Corporation, ABC. Jill was living a rich life full of happiness. She was always connected and concerned about her family. She was known for her warm and friendly nature, making friends quickly wherever she went. In addition, she was a natural entertainer with a passion for drama that was truly inspiring. Melbourne is only a short drive from Brunswick's busy Sydney Road. Jill Meagher spent her final minutes in this lonely, dark place surrounded by a chilling quiet. On September 21st, 2012, Jill Meagher went out for drinks with her co-workers from ABC Melbourne. They went to a bar on Sydney Road in Brunswick and later moved to another bar. Jill was having a lot of fun and didn't realize that it got late, so she decided to leave. She left the bar around 1:30 a.m. and decided to walk back home as the bar was not too far from where she lived. However, Jill never made it back home that night. Jill's brother tried calling her several times that night, but there was no answer. Tom, her husband, was concerned about her absence as well. Before taking any action, he waited for her. Finally, around 4 a.m. when she didn't return home, her husband started searching for her, and when he couldn't find her, he called the police. Police began an inquiry to find her. On Twitter, her ABC co-workers asked anyone who spotted her to contact the police. Next, they set up a Facebook page to get more information about her. They also put up flyers and posters near where she disappeared. Police continued to look for her. On September 24th, 2 days after she went missing, police discovered her purse close to Hope Street in Brunswick. This place was quite close to her home. On September 25th, 2015, police were given footage from a security camera at a store called the Duchess Boutique. The store was located on Sydney Road, near where it meets another street called Hope Street. The footage was from inside the store, so only a little bit of the sidewalk and window was visible. Camera footage showed a man wearing a blue hoodie outside the store on the night of Jill's disappearance. Later, at 1:42 a.m., Jill was seen talking to the same man. Finally, she stopped and waved her phone to him before walking away. It was the last time she was seen on any nearby security cameras. Police started the search for that blue hoodie man. 6 days after her disappearance, police were able to figure out the man's identity. He was Adrian Bailey, who was 41 years old. The police knew he had a history of committing sexual crimes, and at the time, he was out of prison on parole. Adrian Bailey had a record of committing sexual offenses. He began committing them as a teenager. His first known incident was the rape of a 16-year-old girl at the age of 18, followed by 2 more within a year. He was sentenced to 5 years but served only 2. After his release, he went on to rape 5 more women, all of whom were sex workers. Despite receiving an 11-year sentence, he only spent 7 years before being granted parole. Once on parole, he severely attacked a man, leaving him with a broken jaw and unconscious. He was given a 3-month prison sentence, but he appealed the ruling and was allowed to remain on bail while he awaited the verdict. Unfortunately, Jill was the next one to suffer the consequences of his destructive behavior. After the identification, police arrested Adrian Bailey and started an investigation. During the investigation, initially, he told the police that he did not know Jill and had never met her. He said he was fighting with his girlfriend that night and spent a couple of hours looking for her before returning home. The police checked Adrian Bailey's and Jill's phone location records. They found out that both phones were at the same place at the same time and then went to Gisborne, but only Bailey's phone returned. After searching his house, police found Jill's SIM card there. As police gathered more evidence, Bailey confessed to what had happened. He said he saw Jill at around 1:30 a.m. on the phone. After she hung up, he went near her, walking beside her as she walked down the street. Once she turned onto Hope Street, he tried to make advances, but she rejected him. Bailey said he grabbed her and attempted to kiss her, but she pushed him away and slapped him across the face. Bailey was infuriated, and in a rage he overpowered Jill and raped her in the alleyway, ignoring her cries and threats to call the police. Finally, he strangled her and left her there, heading back to retrieve his car and a shovel. At 4:20 that morning, he returned to the alleyway, put her body in his car, and drove to Gisborne in South Victoria, where he buried her. Bailey led police to a shallow grave near Black Hill Road where he had buried Jill's body. A forensic examination revealed lacerations, bruises, and compression fractures that confirmed that she had been raped and strangled. In the early hours of September 28, 2012, Bailey was charged with the heinous crime of rape and murder. This hearing only lasted for 90 seconds. At that hearing, Bailey was denied bail and ordered to remain in custody until trial. Instead, however, he attempted to take his own life in jail. On April 5, 2013, Adrian Bailey pled guilty to committing the rape and murder of Jill Meagher. However, on April 26, he entered a plea of not guilty regarding several other alleged assaults in the Melbourne area between 2000 and 2013. On June 19, 2013, the Victorian Supreme Court sentenced Adrian Bailey to life in prison with a minimum of 35 years. During the sentencing, the courtroom was filled with people. Following the judgment, Jill's family and friends gathered in front of the courthouse to show their relief that justice had been done in the case. During his sentence hearing, Bailey's defense argued that he had cried and panicked after committing the crime. However, the judge rejected this allegation, adding that Bailey's tears were not for Jill, an innocent woman, but rather for himself and the fact that he didn't want to return to prison. In 3 different trials held in 2014 and 2015, Bailey was convicted of 3 other rapes he had committed before killing Meagher. Due to the extensive media coverage surrounding Meagher's rape and murder, the victims, 2 sex workers and a Dutch backpacker, came forward. By then, he had been guilty of sexual offenses against 12 people. Later in May of 2015, County Court Judge Sue Pullen sentenced Bailey to an additional 18 years. His non-parole time was increased from 35 to 43 years. In June of 2015, Bailey filed an appeal against 2 convictions and extended non-parole period from a previous ruling in May of 2015. The appeal sought a reduction in the minimum sentence for one of the rape convictions and was granted, resulting in a decrease from 43 years to 40 years. It means that Bailey will be eligible for parole in 2055 at the age of 83 years old. Repeatedly, individuals who have committed sexual assaults are released from jail and allowed to re-offend in society. But unfortunately, when it comes to Adrian Bailey, it wasn't until his vicious murder of Jill Meagher that he was returned to prison where he belongs. So again, it was a stark reminder of the need for more strict measures to protect society from violent offenders. In August of 2013, Tom Meagher, Jill's widow, left Australia and headed back to Cabinteely Island. In November 2014, he made a quick trip back to Australia to support the White Ribbon Campaign, which seeks to end violence against women. Tom Meagher expressed his grief and anger at the loss of his wife, stating, "It is a tragedy that a bright mind and kind soul was taken by someone who is repulsive and lacks any humanity." Thank you for watching True Crime Prime. Kindly subscribe to our channel and remember to like, share, and comment.